Welcome to episode 41 of Let's Play Civilization 3 Play the World. Alrighty. Well, we are building up our defensive forces here. Don't really want to build any offensive forces, at least for a little bit, because we still have cavalry, and they won't be of much use to us anymore since most people have infantry. So, mainly focus on defensive troops now, but as soon as we hit the ability to build tanks, we'll be building up a new offensive force and possibly think about who we're going to invade. I have someone in mind. I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to leave this suspense, but I definitely do have an idea in mind for an invasion. Anyway, we're moving some of these infantry to border cities since, as we know, the far-flung cities can't really build too much very quickly, so we'll send some infantry out from the core cities to protect them. And got some workers here. What I'm going to do with these workers, since I know there's, as you will see in a second here, there's only 6 turns until the treaty with the Arabs about the coal runs out. I'm going to have those workers wait in the capital of Delhi, and when the time comes, they will start building railroads like mad. I'm going to have one guy build railroads just in that city, one guy building railroads from one place to another, so hopefully things can go from one side of the empire to the other instantly. And you won't believe how useful that is. It's very useful. Things are moving along here, and well, we see the Celts have an army. We have the ability to build armies, or we will, as soon as we build the the military academy, which isn't really a huge priority of mine right now. Having armies is expensive to build, and they're not quite as useful as you might think they are. But I'll do it eventually anyway, just to have a few. So have these guys wait. Have that guy wait there, because I'm going to build a road from that city all the way to the capital as well. Alright, and what I'm building here in a lot of these cities are stock exchanges. Now, stock exchanges weren't in the original Civilization 3. They were only introduced in the Play the World expansion pack. And it has the same effect as the bank and the marketplace, which is to increase revenue in your treasury. Because the further along you go, your cities have many more things, your armies are bigger, you need more money, so these things help to raise those. And if I build enough stock exchanges, I can eventually build Wall Street, which gives a pretty substantial boost. Wall Street is another one of those small wonders where every civilization has one. So the Chinese are moving on towards fighting the Germans. And we have learned the secrets of steel. Now, I think steel in and of itself does not give you anything. However, combustion, what we're going towards, is highly useful, and I'm pretty sure it gives you at least a couple kinds of ships. I'm not 100% sure, I'll have to check, but I think it's used for something. But definitely this is all these technologies are leading up to some very key things that we want. Eventually, the key technologies at the later half of the industrial age, what we're entering into now, are, well, you have mechanized infantry, never mind, motorized transportation. Near the end, that's going to get you tanks, but that's not near the very end. There's also flight, which allows you to build your air force for the first time. There's also mass production, which will allow you to build battleships, which are pretty much the main ship that is. Now, here I negotiate with the Koreans because we're trading luxuries, but since I'm bigger, I have to pay more to them. But fortunately, it's altogether not that much. It's only a matter of 9 gold per turn, and that really doesn't bother me. And I also decide to throw in some world maps so I can learn a little bit more. Even once you have the entire world explored, like I do, it's still important to learn world maps because you learn of the improvements made in other places. Now Germany and China have signed a peace treaty, so the Chinese forces are going to be going in a reverse direction back across our territory. And that means I believe the only war left is the Celts versus Arabia. And this is pretty cool. I get to expand my palace. It's been a really long time since I've been able to do that. And that makes me happy. Everyone likes to expand their palace. There is a maximum palace size. Expanding your palace really doesn't do anything gameplay wise, but it's cool. You just can't say no to that. You can't argue with it being cool. So I decided to put some landscaping, which, in all honesty, is less exciting than the landscaping I've seen outside of most, college buildings. But that's okay. It's still cool. So I believe we're 4 turns away from breaking that or finishing that treaty with the Arabs. I keep talking about that, but I'm really looking forward to that. Get rid of a useless 3-hit point spearman. At this point, spearmen are, I believe, 4 units obsolete, and they're pretty much worse than useless, because every unit costs 1 gold per turn. So there's really no point in keeping around anything that's too old unless you're upgrading it or just using it as bodies in your city to prevent an enemy from taking over. Just run out its turns and hope for the best. I've actually had that happen where I've managed to hang on to a city just because 1 obsolete unit is left and the attacking troop has run out of movement points. And I've been able, and it has bought me enough time to get someone else into the city to defend it. Or else it has gotten time for me to buy a peace treaty. So there is something to be said about having obsolete units, but generally not too wise. Anyway, here is the German city of Berlin. I managed to build an embassy there because I realized I never actually built an embassy with the Germans. Now, I don't have an embassy with the Arabs, but I decided to hold off there a minute. And my computer actually gets a little slow right in here. I apologize for that. But you get back into things. As you can see from the Germans, they have pretty poor city placement. What happened was I tried to press F4 to get to the foreign advisor, but F4 also activates something on the video editing software, so that kind of screwed it up for a second, but oh well. Not a big deal. But we're moving right along here. And that guy's there. Even though the Mongols have been our friends and on our sides this entire time, you can never be sure about that. I've had people I've been allies with the entire time that have backstabbed me. So even though the Koreans and the Mongols have been friends of ours for this entire game, either one of them might backstab us at any time. So, just have to keep on the lookout for that. Alright. Factory. Well, that about wraps it up for episode 41. Hope you've enjoyed it. I'll see you again on episode 42, in which we will finally have coal once again. See you then.